like
about
we like you are a horse listener.
yeah.
And yesterday we were publishing an interview with Istvan, who helped, you know, with information communication, like they are putting natural patterns into water, which is the commonly shared language between horses and us, and the grass and us, and we can correct these amazing, you know, abuse what we applied up to present times on the soil, on horses, on human beings. And it turned out that we can scan a horse, and a scanner can tell what the horse is thinking, feeling, you know, what the problem is, and we can really deal with that. So what do you think? What do you think about that?
You know what? I really enjoyed everything what he said, because from universe energy, okay, if you imagine that universe energy, it has four directions, so like water, fire, air, and the ground. Horses energy is the ground energy. The ground energy is the most important for horses. Of course, that other elements are very important as well, but the most is the important is the ground, because they hooves actually breathing for them, not like air, but they actually do circulation of the blood, you know. And anybody who puts the shoes, and it's not a medical issue, like shoes on the horses are very bad, because it's like sorry for example, but if you take the mask and you're wearing that mask all the time, no matter where you are. So this is like a shoes for horses, because the ground energy is the most important for them. Even if I want to connect to the horse in the pasture, first what I do, I'm connecting my energy with the ground energy and go through the ground to the horse. So what he was saying about the soil and the heavy metal in the soil, it makes sense absolutely, absolutely. And I was actually, when I was thinking about that, it's not just about that soil, but the nutrition. If I see like there is something wrong with the horse, first I'm asking for nutrition, because like with people, if you have a healthy food, healthy nutrition, you have no problem pretty much. So nutrition, and their nutrition is going from the ground, because grass is growing from the ground, even that hay was somewhere. So this makes sense absolutely, totally. And I'm very happy that somebody pays attention to this as well. And of course, water, they need a clean water. And if there is any poison in the soil, it's actually in the water as well. That's logical.
Yeah.
So this man does a great job. Actually, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like he's working on this for years now, and what is happening in Ireland, and I'm serious about that, is that people who are keeping animals which are eating the grass, they are starting to spray this kind of information water only on the field, and this can reinstate the natural state of the soil. And there is grass which is better than the supergrass. I know that there is something they call supergrass, but that is basically genetically modified grass. But this one is a real supergrass. So what horses can really eat and become healthy. And they compare even the grass, you know, by sight is stronger. The color of the grass is different. The hair of the horse is different. It's shiny, you know, their aura is different. So what is happening is that more and more people are using this, and what is amazing is that instead of having a soil with no nutrition at all, because they killed everything in the soil, and this way in the grass, the soil is becoming like rich in nutrition again, and this is just unbelievable. So I was amazed by what he said, and he was talking about the problem of, you know, like giving birth to young calf, you know, and until now, the vet had to go there and pull, you know, the little animal out of the mother, you know, because they just cannot give birth, you know, naturally anymore. And since they take this special kind of information water, they don't have to pull it out. They just fall out from the mother. So it's like unbelievable, you know, that we just can realize how nature should work, basically, without, you know, all the chemicals and craziness, what human beings invented in a way.
Mhm.
So that's unbelievable. And I just was wondering, like, how could we make it like more, you know, public, this option and opportunity.
Mhm. Yeah, this is great idea. I like it. I have to say that here in Canada is definitely not that a big problem with the soil. I would say, in my experience, maybe it is somewhere, but the truth is, if there is a good grass, that means good hay, horses are healthy. There are places they feed bad hay for horses or not enough, and they look awful all winter. And winter here is 6 months a year. So come on. And for the grass, they have about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 months they could be on the grass, which is not so much. That needs to be really good. So nobody's using the chemicals on the farm, and even cows farm, they don't use it. But I can imagine, especially in US and in Europe, that soil is so devastated that we need it. We need somebody like that who will turn it actually back to the natural condition without these chemicals. Because even, yeah, I can imagine, even you use that chemical somewhere else, it goes to the ground and transfer and spread everywhere. It's not just under the one spot. And yeah, it's circling everything. So I really like that idea. Very, I like it.
And what would you say about that? We can scan animals. I just love that. You know, I love what I have seen. I love the thoughts that were projected on the computer. Like once it happened that a mayor had this feeling that it's enough from women. You know.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was his problem, and they moved out from that spot, from among the, you know, I don't know how you call them when they are horses, but like the
Oh, you
girl
mean a
horse,
baby?
no, the like the women horses. I don't know if you have.
Mad,
Oh,
mad.
okay, a mare. Okay, so they just separated them, and the horse gained back the all the health. So it was like unbelievable that we can read animals' thoughts, you know, on computer.
You know what? This actually um, makes sense to me as well because of that muscle memory and tense in the muscles. Because horses, like I said, they are simple animals and they have just the few things they usually do, including say. Calling for a mare or something like that, and it's in the muscle memory. So I think it's possible that if you scan that horse, because of that muscle memory, that muscle actually has a different frequency when stallion is in season than when mare is just like, old mare. There is a definitely different frequency in the muscle. So I believe that we can scan it and read it, definitely. And if there is like I know it sounds weird when I'm doing healing stuff. Our horses first. What I'm doing, I'm trying to scan it with my hands, and I feel it. Where is that spot which is not totally 100% correct? So uh, why we shouldn't do it on computer? Computer can read the frequency like radio or internet or what,
Yes.
cell phones, you know, so why not frequency from the horse's body?
Yeah, yeah, I like that because I know that there are some amazing people like you around the world, but you are there. So, we have much, much, much more people who own, animals, but they don't have the gift that you do, but they still can gain this connection. So what do you think, what is it that it means now that we know that this kind of computer is around? Like, how could they use it?
I would definitely recommend for any like farm owners, you know, to have it
Mm-hmm.
in case if there is something, you know, and they are not sure uh, what what really is the cause. Because if you have a, for example, lame horse, and you know it's a say back right leg, but you don't know where is that cause. It could be hocks, it could be hip, it could be even something in the spine, you know, it could be but you don't know because that if you do, sometimes not even vet can tell you what it is and try and figure out because it's a huge animal. And in this case, I would recommend it, just scan it, you know, and say, oh, I see something is not really right with the hip. Let's work on that, you know. And if vet can have some scanner like this available, it would be much easier for the vet as well, definitely.
Wow. Yeah, this is really true because it doesn't say anything about the vet because maybe the vet knows what the causes might be, and he can be very trained but still not being able to like making the filtering, like okay, which one is from the 10 or 15 possible causes this
Yeah.
might be. So this
Uh,
is and this
from my
is very important. So to find it the sooner, because the illness can be really like dangerous, and spending the time with filtering these kind of options, it
Uh,
might mean a lot.
Definitely, I just want to say that definitely, especially with horses, especially with big animals, because what takes human say 3 days, it takes with these animals about 3 weeks, sometimes 3 months.
Wow.
And so I, from my experience, I saw horses that even vet wasn't sure if it's this or that. And for example, ultrasound is very expensive, and sometimes that owner cannot afford it. And a vet without a ultrasound cannot say 100% is this or that. So it would be worth it definitely to have it, you know, like for reasonable money, say,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it's really really hard. And I had actually the horse, it was a mare, she had a split, and a vet came with an ultrasound, but because that split was hidden behind the other bone, we couldn't see it.
Mm.
It was actually accidentally a couple days later we were doing that ultrasound and röntgen and everything. Accidentally after a couple days she just stepped twisted that leg, that these bones separated just a little bit that we could see it. And
Wow.
it was just the tiny spleen what was causing that she couldn't walk freely, and we just couldn't make it. So for this, purpose, it can happen that you cannot see everything, even on that ultrasound, would be so helpful, so helpful.
Wow. Yeah, so we really have to encourage them to work on this and have more and more around, because I really do believe that, and this is a side effect of this, that the more and more they scan the animal, the more they learn, basically, because they, like they have the feeling, the sensation, then they scan the horse, they see the answer. So this kind of connection through the brain and the mind can train people really understand, what is going on. So I'm very excited about this. Thank you so much for your like I didn't even think about those what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I did think about very simple ones, like of course, healthy grass is much better than the unhealthy, like that's that's very simple. And the option itself that we can give the basic nutrition back to the soil, that's unbelievable. So that was my two you know cases for this. But what you say, that's wow. Yeah, because I'm sure that it's really really very expensive to, for the vet first to have these these machines and computers they use, and then go there and try to understand and try to scan, and wow,
Mhm.
that's really big.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I